warrant for your arrest.
You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm pro pria.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense.
I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace, and
sir.
I'll travel.
All right, folks, we got a no-nonsense judge facing off against a low IQ sovereign citizen, and trust me, this one gets intense. The sovereign citizen keeps running his mouth, completely ignoring the judge's attempts to keep things on track. And just when you think it can't get any worse for him, he makes a massive mistake that seals his fate. The judge shuts him down hard, and it is incredibly satisfying to watch. As you're watching, let me know what you think. Did the judge handle this well? Personally, I think he did a fantastic job, but enough talk. Let's jump right in and watch this sovereign citizen get absolutely wrecked.
I come in sui juris.
Only one of you actually has that phone number, and the other people are just wrong about what their phone number is. Who's calling ending in 1336?
Sui juris and personal persona. I'm Stephen Tyrell White, beneficiary and sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace, and arrest. Fiduciary Daniel Williams Norbeck.
Okay, Mr. White, we're going to pop you over in the waiting room because you're just going to be a distraction for all the citizens here willing to abide by the laws of our country. So we'll pop you over in the waiting room and we'll get back to you. In case you guys have ever heard of the term sovereign citizen in the news.
I'm really loving how this judge is handling the situation so far. You can just tell he's not messing around. Now, let's see what happens when he calls the sovereign citizen back in. The judge just worked his way through the entire docket, leaving this guy waiting the whole time. Let's find out if that little dose of patience has changed his attitude at all.
I read this to you so you understand what you're charged with. This says that on January 7th of this year, on 2nd Street there in the city of Fenville, that you were driving while license suspended. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs. Do you understand your charge?
Objection, Your Honor. I do not understand my charges or
okay, I'm going to mark you down as not guilty, and we'll set you for a jury trial. You can continue to...
Your Honor, you practice in front of bench. You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm pro pria.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense. It means nothing in a court of law. So if you're not willing to state that you even understand or recognize the authority of the court, my options are I can make you come in for arraignment and not give you a PR bond, and then you'll have to post bond to not sit in jail. You want to do it that way instead? Right now, if I get through arraignment with you, I'll give you a PR bond. Mr. White?
I'm asking you a question.
What's the question, sir?
I'm not arguing with you, Your Honor. I just want you to hear me.
Okay, but I don't want to listen for 20 minutes. Go ahead and ask your one question, and we'll start there and see if it's a real question.
Am I on the record?
Yes.
It's not going to take 20 minutes, Your Honor. I'll give you my word.
Well, you said you have a question, sir. What's the question you want to ask?
Is this criminal or is it civil?
This is criminal, sir. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs.
Hey, if it's criminal,
That's two questions, my guy. Pick a struggle. And no, you cannot get this case dismissed, you absolute genius. Do you even understand how trials work? Because, newsflash, you're not in one yet. This is literally just a hearing, and yet here he is, tossing around legal jargon like he's some kind of courtroom mastermind. Spoiler alert, he is not. You can tell just from the way he's talking that he has zero clue what's going on. Like, sir, this is the legal equivalent of a tutorial level, and you're already failing. So, what do you guys think? Should the judge just throw him out now, or let this train wreck play out for another 20 minutes?
What you're talking about is trial. That would be several steps down the road. Arraignment is just for you to make sure that you understand what you're accused of, what the penalty is, and for you to enter a plea. You're accused of driving while license suspended. I read to you what the possible penalties are, and I asked you if you wish to plead guilty or not guilty at this time.
No, Your Honor, I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace,
Okay, sir, those sentences don't mean anything. They have no legal meaning whatsoever.
It's guaranteed by
so
my constitutional
I've indicated that since you can't understand arraignment, I've entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I've set you for a jury trial. You can represent yourself free of charge, or you could hire an attorney. And now you must make a choice, sir, for bond. If we get through the arraignment with you on Zoom, I'm going to give you a PR bond, personal recognizance bond. That means you don't have to post any money. We're essentially trusting you that you'll keep coming back for your court dates. It is no driving without a valid driver's license. If you cannot get that far, in other words, if you really don't understand what's happening here, then I'm not going to allow you to be arraigned by Zoom. I'm going to set you for arraignment in person. And you will come to this courthouse. You will not get a PR bond. You will get a $300 cash or surety bond, meaning that you will need to post $300 in cash, or you will sit in jail from that day until your trial date. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to be arraigned over Zoom like we're doing today, or would you like to come in and be arraigned in person?
Well, I object to all this, Your Honor, because at this point, I don't even understand the charges. I do not understand the charges. I'm not trying to.
That's fine. No, sir, you're allowed to. Sir, you're allowed to object, and I understand your sentence that you don't understand the charges. And so I will attempt to work with you for that for a second. I'm going to read the charges to you, okay? This says that it takes place on January 7th of this year. You understand that, right? The date that I just read.
I'm saying I do not. At this point, Your Honor, I was saying this. It was a jurisdiction matter. It's a jurisdiction matter. That's what I'm saying. It's a subject matter jurisdiction.
Here's the problem with you arguing jurisdiction. I am a lawyer, so I understand what jurisdiction means.
These sovereign citizens really just do not listen. The judge literally said he'd be sending the court date in the mail, yet this guy still acts completely confused. I guarantee he was too busy memorizing his little script instead of actually paying attention. Newsflash. This isn't a school presentation. Sticking to a script won't help when the judge is telling you exactly what's happening. If he had just listened, he probably could wrap this up by pleading guilty, paying a fine, or maybe even taking a few classes. But nope, he chose to be difficult, and now he might end up spending a few nights in jail. Not exactly the smartest decision, but hey, it's a sovereign citizen. What else do you expect? I seriously don't get these people. The court literally hands them the easiest way out, and they still find a way to make things worse. What's the end goal here? If anyone can explain it, please let me know. Are they trying to prove a point that has never worked and never will? The law is pretty straightforward. If you're charged with something, you show up, listen, and handle it like a rational person. But sovereign citizens, they'd rather argue nonsense and act like they've unlocked some secret legal loophole. Hey, at least they make for great content, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, guys, that's a wrap for this one. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I'm really curious to hear what you all think. Personally, I think the judge handled it perfectly. I know some of you think judges are too harsh, but I just don't see it. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Take care.
Driving privileges with Secretary of State have been suspended or revoked. Because this is the county. Yes?
Objection. I travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no contact.
So here's what we're doing, Mr. White. You are no longer able to be arraigned by Zoom. What I'm going to do is adjourn this. I'm going to adjourn this, and you will get notice at your address there. You will come in, and we will arraign you in person. I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you a personal recognizance bond, sir.
It has to be before we can proceed. Before you can proceed, it has to be addressed, Your Honor.
because we are on the record, I'm going to make this infinitely clear. You're going to get notice to appear in front of me. You have two choices. If you do not appear, I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest. If you do appear, we will have this conversation again about arraigning you to see if you understand the charges, but you are not getting a PR bond. You will need to bring with you $300 cash or surety, or you will be in jail. Do you understand those two options, A and B?
That's a violation of my constitutional rights, Your Honor.
Well, no, it isn't, sir. So we're all set for today. We're done talking. We cannot make any progress. You will be asked to come in person for arraignment. You can either choose to come in for arraignment or you can choose to not be here. If you choose to not be here, a warrant will be entered for your arrest. And if you do choose to be here, make sure you bring that $300 because you're not getting a personal recognizance bond. But we are done with this hearing. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.